Which perfect timing. Our speaker is outside. So let's get it going. Let's just jump right into the flag salute. Oh, he's got his badge. I love that. But it allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, liberty and justice for all. All right, there we go. Right into introduction. All right, we'll jump right into our introductions of everybody in the club. Let's start with Austin. 15 seconds, Austin, on you. Let's go. Now that you sat down. Good evening, everybody. My name is Austin Hill with San Dimas Rotary Club. I've been a member for about, almost say, 3 months now, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I enjoy helping out everybody. I'm a current owner of Austin Hills Plumbing in San Dimas. Also a veteran of the United States Marines, and I am also a proud member of the community. Thank you. Let's get Raymond jumping in. Go.
Hey, Raymond Foster, president of the Rotary Club of San Dimas and father of Isabella. I guess that might be the better accomplishment.
Ah, very sweet. And Mar. Mr. Morris. All right, we're just gonna jump right into Bella. Let's go ahead.
Bella, current secretary of the Satellite Rotary Club for Military Family Support and a 6-month Rotarian.
Wonderful. My name is Dominic Torres. I'm chairman of the Satellite Rotary Club. Rotarian for, if Bella's 6, I'm 6 also. Fantastic. All right. Our guest tonight is going to be Coach Spit Barbecue. I do have to go outside and get him when it's his time to go, which is now, because I told him I wouldn't bug him until, well, looks like Austin's going to go get him. So he's outside serving. He's got someone to do his thing, make up food afterwards. But while we're here, let's just go ahead and jump into Find Masters, because why not? We're already here. We're finding Mike Wallace for not being here $150,000. It seems appropriate and very just and fair. With that said, Isabel, what would you say is appropriate fine for him? $10. It's $10. I'm tempted to fine Raymond for eating well on the call for $10 too, but I'm gonna oh, you know what? Isabel seconds it. There you go, there's $10.
Okay.
And I'm gonna find myself $10 for not starting on time, starting 3 minutes late. And we're finding Mar $10 for not speaking up when it was time to do so. He is still over there hiding with a microphone that's off. So we're looking at 40 right now.
That's
all
fair.
Right. That's fair. There it is. He jumps in. There it is. That's we're not at 40. By the way, I just want everyone to know I really enjoy telling Mike that I find him enough of $10. It amuses me every time with his face. He's like, that's fair. All right, our guest speaker will be here in just a moment. He's doing his thing. He's not by me. Yeah. So he stepped into the privy, so he'll be here in just a minute. I don't want to jump too far ahead. Raymond, do you have all your questions that you want to ask him? I told him already. I prepped him. He got here about 3 hours early today with his excitement. So I told him, I said, listen, Raymond Foster has a lot of questions to ask you.
I got a ton, I've always got a question.
And I told him, don't be intimidated by the mustache.
No,
I said he brought a lot of men. Go ahead.
Guys, don't be intimidated whatsoever. This is a soft interview. We can get a confession anyway.
I told him he brought a lot of men down his time on the force with that mustache. So watch out.
Did you know that while we're killing time, in 3 weeks, I will have been retired 19 years.
Wow, you don't look a day over a solid 27 years retired, so.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to go get my Coast Guard hat and we'll have to go to war here. It sounds like.
And with that said, I'm gonna bring up our guest speaker, but I always appreciate the man here, Raymond. Well, he has to introduce himself. It's Coach. I'm sure he'll give you his actual Christian name when he gets up here, but he does own Coach's Pitch Barbecue. I found out today a secondary vehicle and a third, which is pizza. So with that, no further ado, I will bring up Coach.
Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
all right. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm Coach. My name is George. In real life, I go AKA Coach. So I've been So the way I got Coach is I was a football coach and a special education teacher for until 2019, from 2015 to 2019, and then I coached from high school all the way to junior pee wee, and now I do barbecue. So it's kind of weird. I can't really focus. All right. So focus up there. Yeah.
That's all you care about.
Yeah. So now we do barbecue full time. We got 3 trucks. So I got the barbecue, 2 barbecues and the pizza, and it's been pretty good. We're also a professional barbecue team. And we do professional barbecue competitions. Oh, there you go. Around the country, we're sanctioned by the KCBS, and that's who we compete with, other KCBS teams. And it's been pretty fun. We won Rookie Team of the Year for 2019, and we're looking, and then 2020, Rookie Team of the Year again because of COVID. And so that's not really it's in parentheses. So 2020 is the real one, and 2019 is the real one. 2020 is in parentheses. And then we're trying to win Rookie Team of the Year, Team of the Year for this year, for 2022. So yes, the barbecue year goes from September to September. So it's not like a regular traditional year. So a barbecue year is September to September. So we're trying to get that trophy this year. So yeah, so other than that, I am a Rotarian. I am from the Covina Rotary. I've been with Covina Rotary for about 2 years, since 2020. So for about 2 years, going on 3 maybe. So that's been we do a whole lot, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So that's gonna be on the agenda for today. So any questions so far? Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, I'm also a veteran, United States Army vet, Force Recon. So HUA, go Army, and we won this year. So we get a bragging rights for the rest of the year. So, and I know Navy just got rid of their coach, so that's a good thing. Well, he wasn't very good, so I guess he was a bad thing. But so yeah, so I'm an Army vet. Did 18 months in Iraq, and as a 19 Delta Scout, so Force Recon, and then I came back, went to UC Irvine, got my teaching credential, I got my master's, and then became a teacher. And then as I was a teacher, I became a coach. Yeah, so that's a little bit of my background. So
Why'd you get into the Rotary? Oh, sorry.
Oh, Rotary.
Why did you get into the Rotary?
Why did I get into Rotary? Well, when I was in Iraq, I'm not sure what Rotary Club was it that they were sending care packages over to the soldiers over in Iraq, and our unit was sponsored by one of the Rotary clubs here in the States. We don't know which one, but we got sponsored, and they would constantly send us care packages with socks, gloves, underwear, beef jerky, all kinds of good snacks. It was a nice, constantly every 2 weeks I had fresh socks. It was awesome. And then that Rotary logo always stuck in my mind. I was like, well, once I get out, if I'm able to I gotta get involved in these guys and then you know, do something with them. And then so I got out, and then I didn't know Covina Rotary, where I grew up, and then where we're based out of Covina, was kind of like one of the biggest, oldest Rotary clubs in like our area. You know, we've been around for about 100 years now, so over 100 years. So it's gonna be 101 years. So it's I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So I was able to you know, get in contact with them, and then they got me in, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So that's how I became a Rotarian, and I'm pretty happy about being a Rotarian. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, everything we do is just for the community, and it's great. I mean, giving back when they gave me, you can't go wrong. You know, if I'm able to give now, if I'm in a place that I'm able to give, I'm gonna give, because they gave me in the time of need. So that's why I'm happy to be a Rotarian. So. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. So what we do, what Coach Fit Barbecue does is we have well, it's a program that we help. It's called barbecue for vets, and then we help veterans cope with PTSD, anxiety, and other mental disorders through barbecue. So we use the power of barbecue to help veterans cope with their problems, with their anxiety, with their PTSD and everything like that. We've been doing this for about a year now, a little over a year, and this year will be our last year that I'm like in charge of it. We have a 5-panel board, and we voted a couple months ago that we're going to give this program over to the Wounded Warrior Foundation, and then because they have more money, more backing, more resources to make it better, when it is. Because we can only do about, with our funding, most of our funding comes from Coach Fit Barbecue and from the board. But I would say 80% of it comes from Coach Fit Barbecue. And what we do is we can only do about 15 to 20 vets at a time. And it's a whole day. It's about 10, 12 hours where we just constantly show them how to cook, how to start a fire, how to manage fire, how to season, how to make a rub from scratch, right? Using things that you can only get from the store. And from there, we teach them how to do all that. And then it's a whole class. Every vet has their own smoker. And then we teach them fire management, how to start a fire, what wood to use, why to use it, how much water should the wood be, how much water should be in the wood before you put it in the fire. So all that we teach them, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, like, some of these vets are pretty old, and most of the vets we're getting now are from Vietnam to Operation Iraqi Freedom. And so we're getting more of the youngsters coming in now from Operation Iraqi Freedom. So, you know, so that's a good thing, because they understand more. You don't have to keep overwatch. So it's fun. And now that program is going over to the Wounded Warriors Foundation, and they're going to take over for us. So, you know, they have more resources. They're able to do a lot more on a bigger scale. So, I mean, I'm very grateful for that. But, you know, I started this, you know, well, not me, but Coach Fit Barbecue started this with just, you know, 5 veterans, and then it grew and grew and grew. So our last session for Barbecue for Vets will be in Bullhead City, Arizona, and about on January 14th. So that'll be our last session for as a Coach Fit Barbecue entity. So yeah, and then I think we have 22 vets right now signed up. So that'll be in Arizona. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. So, and that'll be our last hoorah. And then after that, you know, Wounded Warriors is gonna take over. And I'm sure they're just gonna blow it up.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And then also, Covina Rotary does do Field of Valor. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. Field of Valor. We're also involved in that. Field of Valor is we have 2003 flags set up for Veterans Day. And that's at Reservist Middle School. Pretty sure you guys heard of it. Yeah. Yeah, and then we're also very involved in that, and then we use the funding for that to house homeless vets. So we go out there, we find these vets, get them into the VA system, and then get them housed. And last year we housed 18 vets. So this year we're looking into housing like at least 20 or more. But we need volunteers though. So if you guys want to volunteer, please do. So I mean, please reach out to me, reach out to Covina Rotary, you know, and then volunteer because we need all the help we can get. So I hope you guys could help us reach our goal. You know, we could do it together as Rotarians. It'll be awesome.
Love it. Yeah. Raymond, why don't you go ahead and ask the question if I can ask?
Yeah, any questions? Come on in.
Raymond, go ahead.
I just back up and talk about the Field of Valor for a moment. Now that's Veterans Day next year. When does your club begin planning that?
Yeah, so we'll start Field of Valor planning it in about 2 months. So so you can reach out to us in 2 months, Covina Rotary, Field of Valor. So reach out to us or reach out to me, and then I could get you on the committee. If you want to be on the part of the committee, we can get you on part of the committee, but we need all the help we can get. Last year, we had very minimal. We were pulling teeth trying to get volunteers. So it was very a struggle. Like, so we need all the help we can get this year.
And how much? Typically, how much are flags? So my understanding with you got 2,000 flags out there, and you're looking for sponsorships on flags, correct?
Yes. So we have 2,003 flags.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then each flag is $40, and then you get to keep that flag. Yeah, you get to keep that flag, and all that money goes to homeless vets. So, like, I personally go out there and you know, go out there and find homeless vets with the VA. So we have a VA rep that goes with us, and then they when somebody says, "Hey, I'm a vet," he's the one that does has a laptop and ask the homeless vet, "What's your name?" You know, this, you know, basic information, and then he runs that information through the system to make sure he's not lying. So, like, we're not just gonna pick up a homeless guy and says, "Hey, I'm a vet." All right, come on. He puts it in the computer. The computer verifies that he's a vet, and then okay, so then we go ahead and help him out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have some people in our club are going to want to volunteer for the Field of Valor.
Yeah.
If
We definitely need it. It was a rough year last year, and you know, as we only had about 20% involvement this year from our program from Covina Rotary. There was only 20%, and our Rotary Club is about 55 people. Yeah, I mean, and then we only had 20%. It was unbelievable. Like, we should have at least 60% involvement, everybody participation. It should be 60%, but we had 20%. So that's unbelievable. So we definitely are looking out this year, trying to get other Rotarians to come out, support, because it's a full on. It's not just, you know, we start 2 weeks prior and then that's it. We're starting months prior.
So you're John Hernandez is your president?
Yep, John Hernandez. Yep.
All right. So if I reach out to him and open a line,
reach out to him, or you could also reach out to Linda Logan. She's in charge. She's the main for Field of Valor. You can reach out to her, or you can reach out to me. You know, so we could do all that because we definitely need the help, and we would like it to be from Rotarians. We don't want to go outside the Rotary, like Kiwanis or Alliance Club, and ask them for help. But you know, if we have to, we will. But
well, I'll tell you what I was thinking. And what's your last name again, buddy? I forgot.
Lara, Lara.
Okay, so I see you here. You're a club director also. So you know what I'm thinking is that I'll send you an email and I'll CC your president and Linda. But I think that the military club, at least some of the men, the Glimmers will want to volunteer. But also right there, I know that the Covina Masonic Home and also the Masonic Lodge here in San Dimas would like to participate. So, you know, we'll open those lines of communication. It's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea because you guys do the food drive for the Marine Corps. So I think if you guys could, you know, do like have your own booth there at the Field of Valor and announce that and you know spread the word there during Field of Valor. I think that'll be perfect, helping each other out. You know, that'll be perfect communication. So I don't. It'll go hand in hand because it's during Field of Valor, during Veterans Day, and it's all connected. It's all for the veteran community. It's all for the military community. So I don't see why you guys wouldn't be there with us.
Well, we'll open the lines of communication because we have an event that we have on November 10th. We'll have our 3rd annual Marine Corps birthday, which we do fundraising for. We have a big dinner here in town. But yeah, we'll and you know what, you Dominic and Isabella, you guys might want to bring up to your club just to I'll open up line of communication and you guys decide if you want to participate and we'll see what they need. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Sounds perfect.
Very cool. And I saw I will CC Isabella on the email. I see where she said that she in the chat also.
Sounds good, sir. Thank you.
Now, my next thing, Jorge, you've been a Rotarian for a couple of years now. Other than the Field of Valor, what other Rotary related projects have you worked on or enjoyed working on?
Well, I also do TLC and RILA. I didn't do it last year because it got canceled. I also do Endless Smiles for Covina Rotary. I'm also Santa. So yeah, I do a little bit of a lot, you know, because the Rotary gave me a lot when I was in service. So I'm in a position where I'm able to give back. So I'm giving back now. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make it happen.
So, and for everybody, the Satellite Club, RILA and TLC, Team Leadership Camp, we sent 4 students this year. And then RILA is just coming up around, and that's the high school students. And we've also, we'll be sponsoring 2 students this year to RILA. And so the sponsoring club, the San Dimas Rotary Club, like the Covina, is involved in that. And the Covina Club is also part of District 5300. So you're in our district. So when are you going to be president of the club?
We don't talk about that. Yeah, we don't talk about that. But you know, it's just I do, you know, whatever they ask me to do, and I do it to the best of my ability. And you know, I'm happy with I'm happy with Rotary, and I'm happy to be part of Covina Rotary, and happy to be Santa. You know, we get this past Christmas we gave away about 2,000 gifts, and I saw about 2,300 kids, you know, all wanting to say something to Santa. So, and then most of them were from underprivileged kids, you know, mid to low income families. So it was awesome. And then I'm the only one, almost the only one that speaks Spanish and that's able to be Santa. On the STEM side, but you know, I'm trying to get there for next year. So, so I'm working on it.
Very cool. Well, that's all my questions, Dom. Thank you very much for your service in the military, your service as a Rotarian, and your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Cheers. All right. So with that said, Isabel's giving him some paperwork. I'm impressed with Raymond, keeping it that short. I love everything about it. With that said, we'll move right into our Action 360. We're looking at our food drive on March 11th at the Masonic Lodge, as we discussed earlier. That will be already in contact with all the different not Masonic lodges, but more VFWs and legions, which is exciting. We're looking to drop off on the Monday, March 13th. We will need volunteers for that. So if you're here now, looking at everyone here. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's a great question. Raymond, since you were there, how many volunteers you would know how many volunteers we would need to drop off on the day of?
You know, what we'll do is at the base, they'll have, whoever is not in training, you know, whatever, you know, PFCs they can find to help us unload. The big deal is gonna, yeah, probably. And what we'll need is transportation there. We've got one 5-ton dump truck, but we're gonna need at least one more 5-ton truck. And I say ton in weight, but really what we have is a volume issue because some of the boxes are large, like the diapers. So,
Right.
on the Saturday of the event, the drop-off date, what we'll do is we'll be receiving stuff and then we take it inside, it has to be repackaged and has to be boxed up so it's easy to ship. So we need all day 20 to 25 people. And so people usually work 2-hour shifts. So basically everybody. And then on the day of the day of transportation on Monday, we'll begin at 6 in the morning, and we can usually have the trucks loaded by 7:30 in the 2-hour drive out there. And we need, again, probably a good dozen people to load. That's another difficult part. But the food drive committee meets again on the 24th, and I'll have all the figures for volunteers. And I think we already have a list of who's who's doing transportation and volunteer wrangling. So I encourage everybody to be at the meeting on the 24th of January. And also the flyers will be out tomorrow. Dominic and I will drop some off. And yes, you're quite correct. We will send 500 flyers out, and they will go to over 200 American Legions, VFWs, Marine Corps leagues, and then they'll go to more than 100 Masonic lodges, 200 businesses in San Dimas. So we'll put 500 flyers in play next week. So that's a lot of work going on.
Love it. Here's my question with all this. We're looking at, if I remember correctly, Patrick said something around 4 tons of food, maximum 5. And the only reason they were able to do 5 is because they took over an area that wasn't necessarily theirs. It was a kitchen. If we exceed what we're looking at, what's our plan of attack for that? How do we, I mean, they made it abundantly clear, like they don't have. Yeah, we're gonna put it in Mike's basement, the creepy basement that is Mike Walls, where you look at it and go, I don't think I'm coming out. I'm asking because it does seem like between our 500 letters, pushing the conversations I'm having now with the Masonic lodges, there's a good chance we're gonna exceed what we're looking for. What's the rub
so
there?
Here's what we'll do. Or here's what we propose to do, and we can discuss this on the 24th. But while we're sorting and packaging, we know from Patrick what's the best thing for Marine Corps families. There's certain kinds of cereals and pastas and diapers and formula. There's things they've specifically asked for out there that they are very useful for them. Things, if we end up with another ton of food, then we take that to the Salvation Army in Ontario, and they have a food bank there that distributes all throughout the Inland Empire and services 1,000 families and 900 homeless people. And so whatever we have that we don't take to 29 Palms that isn't maximizing its use for the military families, we will then take the excess to the Salvation Army, and it will enter the homeless community and families in need in the Inland Empire. So that's the backup plan.
And that makes perfect sense. I guess my question to that becomes, though, I know what Patrick said. Is there any way, if we get out in front of it, that we know that Patrick might say, like, we could put it somewhere else? I know they don't really have the room. I know I'm abundantly clear of that. There's not a quad con somewhere that we could throw diapers into. I mean, it kind of does seem like. I mean, I understand why certain perishable foods can't go in there, but diapers and things of that nature. I mean, it's
so
a quad con.
You were out there, and they have 2 of those containers that were donated, and so we've talked to him about a 3rd container that could go for food or non-perishable stuff that could be stored in one of those semi-insulated outdoor containers. But here's my other thought on that. So thinking down the line is that, let's say that we end up with 5 tons this time. And so, okay, this time we're going to do 4 out to 29 Palms, and 1 goes to Salvation Army. But then we open up a line of communication with Pendleton and with Irwin, and we find out, well, hey, well, wait a minute, if we now we raised 5 tons, we can send a ton to Pendleton. You see what I'm saying? And so what we
Absolutely.
start,
I just didn't know
so
with
we're
what you
kind of
discussed before about Pendleton.
yeah, so we're kind of evolving toward that, place where we're serving multiple military bases, and ultimately, I think what you're building here, Dominic, is a nationwide movement.
Right, that's the idea. Well, I'd like to exceed it. I mean, what we're looking at between, like I said, what you're sending out, what we're talking about now, with what I'm discussing with the Masonic lodges, and like I said, and whatnot. If we end up with 6 tons or 7 tons, I'm obviously being optimistic. I'd like to still see them. I am not trying to knock Salvation Army. I think they do, as they're saying, is do the most good. They're doing a phenomenal job of doing exactly that. But I do think that taking into consideration places like Camp Penn or for Irwin, we should really look to them first, because I do feel like, frankly, if someone got wind that we were sending it out to Salvation Army, I understand that there are homeless folk out there, but I think people, if they're open to their wallets and or their pantry, and they're thinking it's going to go to a military family, we should really look to the idea that it's a military family. And Lord knows, well, we know how well the military, you and I both do, and so does Austin, how well the military pays its members. So just something to think about. Well, also we'll keep hashing it out, but that's just a topic that popped in my head earlier, and I went, I should probably bring that up. So that's where we are with it.
I agree with you 100% on that. And as I said, the Salvation Army is a temporary fix, because we can't. I don't know how it took so much effort to open up the lines of communication with 29 Palms and get the trust. We have to open that up with Irwin before we say, or to Pendleton before we begin to service them. Do you see what I'm saying?
Which I absolutely understand,
Yeah.
but the one luxury we would have this time is that we have a beachhead. We do
That's
have
right.
someone, we have a Patrick, that if you don't believe us, we can call Patrick and say, Patrick, can you do me a favor and call them? And then they know, like, we're not some group trying to get some kind of big thing out of the deal. They know that we're looking at going, we just don't want to donate food. We're looking for the betterment of our enlisted men and women. That's all we're looking for.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got the mic working a little bit. Going backwards a little bit, we did mention an issue with a little hiccup with transportation. Was that a thing?
Yeah, we have to get the food from San Dimas to 29 Palms, and we're going to it's going to require at least one more 5-ton truck.
Is it? And the stuff isn't refrigerated right now, right? It's just all
No,
canned goods
no,
or
it's not.
something like that.
No,
Okay.
Dry
refrigeration.
goods, stuff like that. Yeah.
I actually have some conversations open with my commanding officer. For you to, so if you don't know, I'm an operations chief for a reserve truck company here in Las Vegas. I grew up in San Dimas. Me and Bella are friends. Yeah, so I have that line of communication open with my commanding officer. Basically, being able, trying to see if we could, lend a truck and 2 Marines to essentially drive it down there. They'd be on some sort of orders or something, but that's on my end. But to essentially try to help with one truckload, 7-ton should probably be able to hold whatever you need to hold, if not 2.
Hey, Mar, that's a fabulous idea, and one we've been trying to work for a long time. And so the other thing is, as you open that door, there's Cal Guard units here in California. And here's the pushback we've gotten from the Marine Corps, is that using Marine Corps trucks for that is contrary to their policy. And so you may get that. But
technically we use those trucks to do Toys for Tots events, which is technically the same thing. So maybe active duty might have that restraint, but as reservists, I mean, we use our trucks to do Toys for Tots events. And I mean, I gotta, every December, we got a warehouse full of toys that we brought there in military vehicles. So I don't think that will 100% be an issue, but like I said, I have to get with my get that final say so from the from my CO on that one.
Well, of course, and then that would be fantastic because yeah, I mean, heaven forbid we take the time to feed the families of the Marine Corps in this particular instance, and possibly with the overflow into the Army.
Hey,
And
Mark,
you know, not saying that toys aren't a great thing, but food's, you know, it's kind of a thing we keep going on.
Hey, Mark, just to finish my thought is, as you open that door with the people you know within your transportation community, if we could open the door to Cal Guard unit somehow, I'm having lunch with the Josh Baker, the president of the Cal Guard Association, on the 20th, and trying to open the door to California transportation because we want to transport food far and wide, but something to keep in the back of your mind because you've got a great idea to begin with. That's exactly where we need to go.
Well, it'd be fantastic. I mean, it would end up really being incredibly beneficial because I mean, if we could run things like that, like I said, it's all for military. So I mean, why the hell not? Be frank, like we might as well use them for the betterment of us, and by that I mean all his military personnel and the families it supports. So,
oh yeah,
it makes perfect
definitely,
sense.
definitely. In my unit, we frequent 29 Palms quite often, so I mean, we know that base like the back of our hand. So we definitely got quite a few contacts over there as well. So
Very cool.
yeah, transferring food or anything inside out of that would be fine.
Very cool.
Well, I love that idea. I'm excited about it. Like I said, it's for the better of us. I will say this, unfortunately for you, Mark, that you understand and know what 29 Palms looks like. So I too unfortunately know what it feels like to be there. I know what it looks like, as actually a couple of us in this room do. So either way, wonderful. I'm excited about it. So with that said, you hammer that out. I look forward to hearing from the next one, and we'll keep moving forward with what we're looking at. You got what? Yeah, that's right. Raymond, that's a perfect question actually from Isabel. Did you ever end up with the list from Patrick? Because Isabel and I have never got one, even though we've inquired multiple times.
A list of needs?
Yes, that's what we had
Yeah.
asked him in person and then later.
Yes, we have the one from last year that he gave us. But I'll give him if you remind me on the 24th to recontact him. We basically, the flyer has the list of needs on it. And I can pull the flyer up and show it to you if you'd like. It has the list of needs.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or heck, maybe if you contact him, he'll listen to you. I'm not sure. I just would like to have something because we've inquired multiple times about it. So that's where we are now.
Well, okay.
Well, yeah. So yeah, no, I'm saying, so if you got it, I'd love to hear about it. So, because it's always easier when people ask, what are we doing? So when it comes to what we need. So that's what we're looking at. All right, let's jump into the next thing because we could do this all day. Elections of officers at the club assembly. That's our next point of contention, and we're looking to do that. I believe it's next week. And if you don't show up, we're going to elect you. So watch out. That's how this works. 1 second. So anyways, yeah. Show up. Don't show up. You might get elected. That's your quagmire when it comes to it. That'll be January 11th from 6 to 7:30. It's our club assembly / elections of officers at High Point. Say it. We need a new me and we need a new Isabel. That's how this one works. And that is January 11th. So come January 18th from 6 to 8, we're doing our teacher mini grant presentation. It's going to be the same place we did our last event, which is at Elba Jewelry Design Center, which is going to be 910 North Amelia Avenue. That's in Dimas, California, 91773. Be there. It was actually wonderful last time. We had a great time. Set up a bunch of stuff, got to hear about how the kids who went to camp really had a great experience and learned more leadership skills. So make sure you're there for that. That's an all hands kind of thing. Oh. And then with that said, we're looking at January 24th. We have our, from 6 to 7, we have our 29 Palms resupply committee meeting. It's up for the food drive, but it is via Zoom. It won't be in person at all. So in Zoom, you'll get the link, click, go ahead and make sure you're there. Jumping into the next one. February 1st from 6 to 7. We're gonna have our next meeting, same side of the Rotary. This guy wants to show something about his pen over here. Oh, thank you. It's gonna be from our next meeting is gonna be Speaker Colonel Claude. Claude, does that make sense? Is that Claude?
Claude Schmid.
Claude Schmidt. All right. U.S. Army retired with the Veterans Last Patrol. The Last Patrol connects veterans, volunteers to veterans in hospice. They cooperate with medical providers of hospice care to connect volunteers to patients so that their last patrol isn't alone. It's hard to overestimate the importance of friendship during end-of-life care. Last patrol brings new friendships when friendships matter the most. And that's the idea, and that's what we're looking for. So keep that in mind, something else we'd like to be doing. With that said, we have a 4-way test. And I'm gonna guess the person that's gonna do the 4-way test is Raymond Foster tonight. Go ahead, Raymond, you got it.
Why do I have to do the whole 4-way test here? Let me pull it up real quick. I have it memorized, but I want to have everybody see it. So this basically is the what we use for Rotarians as an ethical code. And a lot of clubs, if you go, one of the things you'll find if you travel internationally, you know, there's 32,000 Rotary clubs around the world, and they'll all have a period of time where they do the 4-way test either at the beginning or the ending of their club meeting. And a lot of times it's just that they recite it as a club. So if you were when I was in St. Kitts, the beginning of the meeting was their Pledge of Allegiance and their national anthem of their country, and then they did the 4-way test. It's exactly this one, and you'll find this in any Rotary club. But here in our Rotary Club, what we've always emphasized is rather than reading it out loud or reading it as a group, somebody to talk about it personally, what it means to them. And so I always like to look at the idea, is it fair to all concerned? Because fair seems like something that doesn't happen very often in life. There's not a lot of things that seem very fair. But if you think of fair as the type of as a process, in other words, if you have a sporting event and everyone follows the rules, then it was a fair game, no matter who won or lost. And so the idea of fair is following the rules and everybody knowing what the rules are, following the proper processes. And so that's what I would give you for the 4-way test this evening.
Wonderful. Job well done, Raymond. It's almost like you've done this from once or twice.
All I got was a golf clap. I just got a golf. I got a golf clap. That was it.
That's what my golf clap sounds like. It's very intense. With that said, yeah, let's follow up. I'm very excited about the ideas that we have coming up with us. Going right into closing remarks. We do have all these different people connected. I look forward to seeing Raymond tomorrow. I'm sorry, the 500 letters going out. I'm sure will make a massive difference between that. Know what we have going on with, like I said, the Legions and the VFWs. Connection with Covina could not be a problem by any means. It does sound like, since they're not particularly, I don't want to say they're not military, but they're not military folk for this particular club, we could really make something big happen with that. And with what they're doing with their flags, we could really, that wouldn't be a bad thing to be part of, because we're looking at what, 10 people on their side of their club. We start doing the same thing. It would probably be pretty wonderful. So let's start looking at something like that. But take into consideration, once again, if you do not find yourself at this meeting, you might get elected. So watch out. I'm just saying, you can't argue your point against it. So we'd love to have you here. I know Raymond. Raymond right now is like, I'm going to be the next chairman of that side of the Rotary Club. He's so excited. So with that, he's going to be my secretary for the other. He's going to be the president of this. He's going to be the satellite chairman of that. I'm excited for Raymond. With that said, Mark, we look forward to you following up on what you were doing. What's that? And Bella will probably still be the secretary. With that said, Mark, we look forward to hearing from you and what's going on with that. If we can get vehicles involved, especially like Raven said, National Guard stuff, that would be absolutely wonderful. So with that, that's everything I've got for you guys tonight. I look forward to talking to you soon though.